how a superstar became the NBA biggest villain. Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Kavis, man. We back with another video. Back with another reaction. Man, y'all see it, man. We got Ja Morant. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's crazy, man. I hate that. Man, I just hate the situation, man. But if you're new to the channel, man, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We're finna get into the video. Subscribe if you haven't. Man, subscribe to join the family. And let's get into this video, man.
$8 million. That's how much money Ja Morant's lost from NBA suspensions.
The Grizzlies have suspended star point guard Ja Morant.
NBA star Ja Morant has been suspended again.
The Memphis Grizzlies have suspended guard Ja
The league
Morant.
is suspending Ja Morant
due to his reckless habit of showing guns on Instagram. And if you count the money Morant lost from bonuses and endorsement deals, the price of promoting violence is closer to $60 million. However, the real problem isn't the money. It's that Morant was involved in nearly a dozen incidents in a span of 2 years.
Incredibly disappointed, disgusted, wondering what the hell is wrong with him.
From suspensions to court cases, fights off the court, fighting with coaches, beefs with players, and disrespecting the NBA, Morant has become one of the most problematic players in the league.
We have to stop putting ourselves in positions to where they could take away what we've worked so hard to get to.
And what's crazy is, Ja Morant was supposed to be the face of the NBA, winning Rookie of the Year and becoming a two-time All-Star in his first 4 seasons. Morant became one of the best and most entertaining players in basketball.
Morant blows by Primo. Attack!
But then Ja changed. He started drinking and going to strip clubs, wearing gold chains and carrying guns, while his entourage caused trouble seemingly every week. Even his dad got into a fight during a game. To make matters worse, his on-court production has also suffered. Morant is currently averaging the lowest point total since his first 2 seasons in the NBA, with the worst shooting percentages of his career. And it's becoming clear that something needs to change.
Like, you need to find your motivation back, and something's gotta change.
This is the Ja Morant story. How a humble kid from South Carolina became a hero and then transformed into one of the NBA's biggest villains. After an electrifying start at Murray State, the Memphis Grizzlies selected Ja Morant with the 2nd overall pick in the 2019 NBA Draft. And during his pre-draft interview, Morant passed all the questions with flying colors. There were 0 red flags, and the Grizzlies couldn't find a single person who had anything bad to say about Ja. Morant was a hard worker, came to the public spotlight late in his career, and played with a chip on his shoulder. He came from a stable family, didn't drink or smoke, and was always respectful towards coaches and teammates. Everyone who described Morant said he was humble and coachable, a gym rat that was unfazed by fame. And when Morant first came to the NBA, he acted that same way. People who interacted with Morant and his father T felt that they were humble and respectful, easy to talk to, and never overstepped boundaries. He would always kind of come off very humble. He would ask questions. "Man, if you don't mind, can I have a seat right there?" Very courteous. However, towards the end of his rookie season, the first signs of trouble began. Team sources said there were concerns about how frequently the underage Morant, usually accompanied by his father, would go out drinking and visit strip clubs before games. But those problems were largely swept under the rug, especially since Ja produced on the court, averaging 17.8 points and 7.3 assists per game, winning the Rookie of the Year award almost unanimously, with only 1 vote going to Zion Williamson. However, by his 3rd year, the drinking and the partying became too hard to ignore. Throughout the 2021-22 season, when Morant was named the NBA's most improved player, a pattern emerged on the Grizzlies' road trips. After landing, a van would be waiting for Ja and his entourage, who followed him everywhere. Morant would fly him in on a private jet, cover the hotel costs, and all the expenses. And the Grizzlies noticed that Morant started to come to practices hungover, or be late to team events the next day. But Ja was averaging 27 points per game, and everybody in the organization kept silent about his lifestyle.
Adams going long. Morant!
As NBA superstars are often given a certain leeway that role players never experience. There was no discipline, a Grizzlies source said. They felt they could do anything they wanted. In my opinion, the enabling was out of control, just constant. In February 2022, Morant was traveling to his first All-Star game in a private jet, surrounded by friends and family. He decided to share his happiness with the world on Instagram Live, passing bottles of tequila and drinking straight from the bottle.
Oh, man, we was lit.
Morant later set off to flight. Now, celebrating your first All-Star appearance is perfectly fine, and athletes drinking expensive alcohol isn't anything new, so it wasn't treated as a big deal. However, Ja's need to go live during drinking sessions would soon get him into trouble. After he signed a 5-year, $194 million extension, the biggest contract in franchise history, the Grizzlies noticed a further change in Ja's behavior. Once a humble and peaceful kid from Carolina, he suddenly became something of a diva. Always surrounded by an entourage, getting into arguments with people in the organization, and acting annoyed if something didn't go his way. In July 2022, a sneaker store salesperson and Morant's mother allegedly engaged in a heated confrontation, after which the salesperson said that Morant and several friends showed up and threatened him, with a later report indicating that Ja shoved him in the parking lot. A week later, Ja was involved in a physical altercation with a 17-year-old teenager, Joshua Holloway, during a pickup game at Morant's home.
You're talking about like basketball player John Morant.
Basketball.
Okay, like Memphis Grizzly John Morant.
Grizzly John Morant, yeah.
So grown man just hit you in the face.
Yeah.
And a grown friend.
Yeah. They John.
Holloway was a frequent guest at Ja's house, and they often played ball together. But after they got into a fight, the teenager decided to file a civil lawsuit. Morant claimed it was self-defense after Holloway hit him with a basketball and got into a fighting stance.
The ball came, hit in my face, I flinched back like this. So I'm like, which one?
After which, Morant punched him,
Yes, I punched him.
followed by another punch by Ja's friend. And even though the case was later dismissed and Morant was essentially found not guilty, it was the second incident in the span of 1 week, and it wouldn't be the only one. In September of 2022, Morant's sister got into an argument during a high school volleyball game, after which Ja and his friends arrived at the scene, leading to an altercation in which witnesses said that one of Morant's friends threatened a student. But when the 2023 season started, Morant kept producing on the court, averaging 26 points and 8 assists per game, making his second All-Star appearance.
John Morant! Save those dunks for the big games.
On January 20th, Ja's father, T. Morant, got into an argument with Shannon Sharp during a game with the Lakers, with Ja also getting involved in the potential fight.
Shannon Sharp still talking, and T. Morant, John Morant's dad, comes over. Had an opportunity to talk to T. Morant, and he said, my blood pressure didn't go up a bit.
But the situation soon de-escalated. And just 9 days later, after a game against the Pacers, Morant got involved in another incident. Ja's crew got into an argument with some of the members from the Pacers organization, who reported that someone pointed a laser at him, likely attached to a gun, with the laser beam coming from Morant's SUV.
As the first car leaves in the second car, and reportedly Ja is riding in the second car, a dot of a red laser appears on several of the people up on the loading dock.
Man, I think what it is, bro, you gotta get the people from around you too, bro. You gotta get them from around you, cause it's not going good, man. I think the Grizzlies getting tired of it. Time to separate yourself, man. Lock back in. Find your motivation, like Paul Pierce said, man. Find your motivation. Get back right. Come to the face of the NBA, man. Come back right, man. I think ever since after that situation with the gun, man, the second time. I think, man, it just ain't been right. It just ain't been right.
Scare them, but again, the security guard said, I believe that's attached to a weapon.
Yes.
You're kidding.
The NBA launched an investigation, but without sufficient evidence, nothing came out of it.
Yeah, I mean, that was addressed internally, aware of the investigation of the NBA, did a full-on investigation. We were fully compliant with it, and I think they came out with a statement saying nothing was corroborated or found. So, that's what I know, and that's all I'm going to comment about.
However, the Grizzlies staff had finally had enough and confronted Morant, telling him that he's messing up and to not act like Steve Francis and Allen Iverson, who, like him, were extremely talented point guards, but whose actions off the court cut their careers short. But Ja wasn't in the right headspace to hear those messages, and he brushed them off, saying that none of the incidents or his lifestyle were affecting his game. And yet, only a month later, Ja made headlines again, and for all the wrong reasons.
To NBA superstar Ja Morant, now under investigation. The league launching that probe after the Memphis Grizzlies point guard appeared to display a gun on Instagram Live while at a nightclub early this morning.
After the Grizzlies lost to the Nuggets on March 3rd, Morant went to a strip club where he broadcast himself on Instagram Live while holding a handgun. And even though he deleted his social media account...
Yeah, that was stupid.
put out a statement taking responsibility for his actions and apologized to his team and his fans. The NBA didn't take the situation lightly. Commissioner Adam Silver issued an 8-game suspension to Morant, saying that his conduct was irresponsible, reckless, and potentially very dangerous. Morant then flew to Florida, where he began an 11-day stay at a private counseling facility. The day before his return, he addressed the media and his time away, saying that alcohol didn't influence his decision-making.
I don't got an alcohol problem, never had an alcohol problem. I didn't go there for alcohol, I went there for counseling.
But then on May 13th, 2023, 3 months after he served his suspension, Morant did it again. While driving in a car with his best friend Devontae Pack, Ja and Pack were vibing the music, with Morant sitting in the passenger seat while Pack drove. Pack was also streaming the scene, and unfortunately for his friend, Morant was caught on video while holding a gun. And even though he appeared on the screen with a gun for less than 2 seconds, the image of Morant instantly went viral, even after the video was deleted from Pack's account. It was the second incident of its kind in less than 3 months, the 7th overall in less than a year. And on June 16th, the league announced that Morant would be suspended without pay for the first 25 games of the following season. And with a yearly salary of approximately $34 million, or roughly $309,000 per game, Morant lost nearly $7.7 million. And to make things even worse, due to the missed games, he lost the opportunity to make the All-NBA team, which would have activated bonuses in his contract that would increase his earnings by nearly $40 million. On top of that, Powerade dropped Morant and ended their endorsement deal, while other potential brands that had considered working with Ja changed their minds. So with everything added up, Ja lost north of $60 million, and maybe even more, due to his imitation of Chris Tucker in Rush Hour.
FBI, take a picture. It's okay, wait a minute.
That 25-game suspension was the 9th longest ban of a player in league history, as the league does not take guns lightly, especially after Gilbert Arenas and Javaris Crittenden brought guns to the Wizards' locker room in 2009. Adam Silver was visibly mad and disappointed, calling Morant's conduct reckless and irresponsible, specifically noting the kids who look up to him.
As you said, he's a star. I mean, he has an incredibly huge following. And that my concern, and I thought he shared with me, that millions, if not tens of millions of kids globally would see him as having done something that was celebrating in a way.
Silver also said that for Morant to return to play, he'd be required to complete a program with the league to prevent him from repeating this destructive behavior. That same day, Morant issued his statement to the league, the Grizzlies, his teammates, and the city of Memphis, apologizing for the harm he'd caused. To the kids who look up to me, I'm sorry for failing you as a role model. I promise I'm going to be better. To all of my sponsors, I'm going to be a better representation of our brands. And to all of my fans, I'm going to make it up to you. I promise. And on December 19th, 2023, Morant returned from suspension, scoring 27 of his 34 points in the second.
But I want to play like 8 games because he got hurt, man. 7 games or something like that, man.
Along with a game-winning shot in a 115-113 win against the Pelicans.
Been right ever since then, man.
But after playing in only 9 games, Morant suffered a shoulder injury that sidelined him for the rest of the 2024 season. And Ja recovered in time for the 2025 season opener, but 2 weeks into the season, he got hurt again.
3-on-2, Jake Hobbs and Morant. Takes a hard fall, and there was no foul called. The crowd can't believe it.
After which Morant said he won't dunk anymore. On March 28, 2025, the Grizzlies fired coach Taylor Jenkins, with only 9 games left in the regular season, and Memphis already securing a playoff spot with a 44-29 record. Now, Jenkins was Morant's only NBA head coach, and Ja was unhappy with his dismissal. And just 3 days later, he was involved in yet another incident. This time, during a game against the Warriors, Ja and Golden State's guard Buddy Hield made gun-aiming gestures at one another, after which the NBA issued a warning to both players.
As the Warriors were going to the bench, Ja Morant had some form of gesture there. You can make that what you want. And then Buddy Hield kind of responded, so you have offsetting teams, no free throws.
However, Ja completely ignored it. And the very next game, he made multiple gun-aiming gestures. When he was asked about the criticism he faced for the celebration, Morant said that he was used to the negative narrative around him. I was pretty much a villain for 2 years now. every little thing. If somebody can say something negative about me, it's going to be out there. So, yeah, I don't care anymore. The following day, Morant was fined $75,000 for the gun-pointing celebration, after which he replied that he would start imitating grenade throwing instead. During the first round of the playoffs against OKC, Morant got injured again.
The contact from Dort, and Morant is still down.
Which put a bad taste in everyone's mouth, as his career arc had become increasingly frustrating. And before the start of the 2025-26 season, on NBA Media Day, Ja leaned into his new role as a villain, saying he doesn't want to be the face of the NBA. And then he quickly proved his point, because the face of the NBA doesn't get suspended every year, which Ja managed to accomplish after only 2 weeks of the season.
The Memphis Grizzlies have suspended guard Ja Morant for 1 game for, they say, conduct detrimental to the team.
On October 31st, after getting defeated by the Lakers 117-112, in which Ja only scored 8 points on 3 of 14 shooting, Morant expressed his frustration with the new coaching staff. In a post-game interview, the reporters asked him what went wrong for him in the game, to which Morant replied,
I'll go ask the coaching staff.
Ja grew increasingly frustrated with the new head coach, Thomas Isolo, and his offensive scheme. And after his public comments, the Grizzlies suspended Morant for 1 game. Upon his return, reporters asked Ja whether he was playing with the same joy. And Morant simply said,
Oh, no. What can be done to get it back?
We'll see.
Clearly showing that something was broken in his relationship with the franchise. But this wasn't the end of all the controversies. Morant got injured again, and he watched the November 22nd game against the Mavericks in street clothes. But somehow, he still managed to become the most talked about player after the game. After the final buzzer sounded, Morant and Klay Thompson got into an argument and had to be separated.
And then
Ja got in there. I didn't see that the first time.
I saw that the first time. And where he comes from, I don't know. You didn't even play tonight. So you should have been in the locker room already.
And after the game, Klay had nothing positive to say about Ja.
And then with Ja, he's a funny guy. He has a lot to say, especially for a guy who rarely takes accountability. But he's been running his mouth for a long time. It's funny to run your mouth when you're on the bench. It's kind of the story of his career so far, just leaving us wanting more. You know, we all want to see him out there and do his best, but he's just been letting a lot of other stuff get in the way of that. When you're a star, it comes with a great responsibility. I hate to see that go to waste.
So far in the 2026 season, Morant is shooting a career low from the field at just above 40%. And he's even worse from the three-point line, shooting just above 20% from deep. His point average is the lowest it's been since his first 2 seasons, while his turnovers are almost at an all-time high, despite only playing 28 minutes a night. Morant's trade value has never been lower, due to his decreased performance, all the injuries, and off-court issues. It's insane to think that just 3 years ago, he was considered one of the best players in the world, and the one who's least likely to get traded. But now, even if the Grizzlies wanted to get rid of him, it would likely not get much in return, as any team that'd be willing to take on Ja would also be taking a huge risk, since he's missed more games than he's played in over the last 3 seasons. It's a shame that we've gotten to this point, because at his best, Ja was one of the most entertaining players to watch, and he's one of the most athletic point guards in NBA history.
Morant. Jawbreaker!
But Ja wants to be a gangster, and it would be a terrible waste of talent if he doesn't manage to resurrect his career. Because really, anybody can wave a gun on Instagram, but not many people can dunk over 7-footers and twist in the air like he can.
Ja in the late game situation.
In about 15 or 20 years, we could be watching his Hall of Fame speech. But we could also be watching him on the news, beating up another teenager or being involved in another gun incident. It's Morant's choice which road he'll take. And for the sake of all NBA fans worldwide, we hope it's the first one. Thanks for watching. And if you like this video, we have another one for you right here.
Man, I ain't got nothing to say, man. I hate to see it, though, bro. When you new to the channel, man, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, man. Subscribe. I ain't even gonna say if you're new to the channel, just subscribe, man. See y'all next video.